Hello guys, welcome back to another video. So in today's video, I just want to discuss a little topic today that I've been getting a lot of questions about recently, and that is my controller settings. So, I've been getting, recently a lot of comments have been about my controller settings, so I feel like I might as well make this video. Might get a few guys happy, kind of whatever really, yeah. So I use a basic Xbox One controller. I'll put a picture of what I use. It's just legit as basic Xbox controller there is. I don't use any paddles, nothing, no SCUF controller, just normal basic controller. I'm just using this controller because I've had Xbox controllers for years, and that's just what I'm specifically like happy with. And like I'm not like, I don't know how to describe it. I play claw as well, if that's what like helps out a lot. But anyway, I'm just so used to Xbox One controllers. Like it's just, I can't go away from them. They're just my style. I've been playing them for years, and it's just how it works. But anyway, the settings that I use my controller, as you can see, I've got my settings now. I use a very low sensitivity. So the reason why I use a low sensitivity is because I can control my aim very well. And so ages ago, people used to always say, "Oh, use high sensitivity, please use high sensitivity," because it was like, oh, you could trick shot, you can move quick, you could like turn on people easily, just do stuff really quickly with a controller. But for me personally, I'm a low sensitivity player. I play between 4 to 7, so I play 4-4. But a lot of pro players anyway, play 7-7, 6-6, 5-5, or 4-4. That in that range specifically. And the reason why we'll play that range is because that's where you get the most accuracy out of your gun. Obviously, if you play 7-7, you can control it well. That means you're probably one of the better players in the game, just because you've got very decent sensitivity, you can turn on people very well, and all that stuff really. But I'm just so used to very low sensitivity control my aim, especially in Warzone. I think it's very useful to have a chance to just control your aim properly, especially if people glide in the air. You can really just tune your aim to the shots. I think it's a really good idea. So if you guys haven't tried out low sensitivity, just try it out for a couple of games. See if you get used to it. If you don't get used to it, fair enough, really. So anyway, this is my setting anyway. So dead zone is 0.6. The top three don't matter, by the way, if you're wondering, really. They're just kind of whatever. Anyway, dead zone is 0.06. Now the reason why I run 0.06 because that's where my controller's kind of dead zone goes. This is kind of on your own controller. This is basically as low as it gets before stick drift happens. If you're probably the best place to be is probably 0.09. And go down to 0.06 if you've got. I've got a new controller. I just bought one recently, so so I've got mine's a new controller, so mine's not too bad. But if you've got a bit older controller, go 0.09. I think that'll probably be a good idea. Obviously, my sensitivity 4:4. Yep. My multiplier is 0.093, just because when I'm aimed in, I want to be a little bit slower. It means I can really just tune my shots properly. But obviously, when I aim out, I want to be a little more quicker, like whippier. But I don't move my thing around. Now, I do use aim response type curve dynamic. Now, not gonna lie, I don't know why I switched dynamic. So I took a massive break from COD on Black Ops 3 from this now, and all these settings really just come into it, and I didn't really know what to do. So I did ages ago go on some YouTubers and like compare it, and a lot of people use dynamic. Specifically, Phase Jev, who I used to always watch, he used dynamic at the time. So I've kind of used it now. It's kind of what I use. You can always use standard. A lot of people do use it as well. Nobody really uses linear, in my opinion. I don't think. I'm not well aware of anyway. So either standard, dynamic. That's obviously depending on your play style. Play with it again. It's the thing of controller settings. They're mainly on you. You can't really copy someone's stats completely, just because at the end of the day, it's how you feel comfortable. But, I play dynamic. Give it a try. I think it's really good. Aim is standard. Don't change this. Honestly, just keep it standard. Precision, focusing. They're all good, but standard is just so good in my opinion. It's just best for just overall aiming consistently. Scale aim is over FOV. So console players don't get this because obviously I've got an FOV slider. I run 120 FOV, as I'll show you now. As you see, 120 FOV. So that's why I've got a scale FOV, so the box changes to the size of it. As you can see, the picture on the right, it kind of, as my FOV gets bigger, this box gets smaller, so that it's more precise. Weapon mount. So I like to use a melee. So when you aim in a melee, I think it's really like the best way to do mounting. I think it's just the best for me personally as well. Weapon mount movements, exit normal. Aim looks like behavior. Hold. If you use tap, I'm sorry, but what the hell? No one uses tap. You should not use tap. Quick behavior. Obviously, this could be toggle or hold. It's depending. You're on you as well, isn't it? Really. All right. Contextual tap. This is the biggest thing in my opinion. In Warzone, contextual tap is the way to go. In terms of just being quick. Just tapping up, getting stuff quick. Because if you've got the hold one, then you have to hold the fucking gun up, which is so slow. Especially like when you go to land Superstore, where you want to pick a FFAR up and to get your kills, and not like take ages to pick a gun up. Deplete ammo switch. This doesn't matter too much to be honest, but it's kind of useful every now and then I guess. You can have it say raw and it, well that's obviously on you once again. Armor plate behavior, that's needed. If you don't have this on, you need it. Slide behavior tap. Honestly, hold or tap, it doesn't really bother me. Like you can just do either. I prefer tap just because it's a bit more consistent again. I always run with this controller settings. I always run for consistency, as that's the most important part. Like when you're in a close gunfight, like 1v3, 1v2, 1v4, you just need consistency to be like rolling through, just so you just win your gunfights really. Now, a lot of people, I'm not going to auto move forward. Do not have it on. I'm sorry, don't have it on. No point. But automatic tactical sprint. Now you could do this if you really. In terms of movement, this is probably tactical sprint is super useful. The automatic one anyway is super useful, but I'm not a fan of it. I prefer just me controlling all my movements on my own. I feel like I control it like well enough to the point now. I've played enough without it. I can't just like intertwine with it with my skills. But I think disable is probably best for most people, just because it feels very clunky at first. Obviously, it helps out later on. You can do a lot of things, but I feel like at first I kept running to doors and kept getting me killed and just stuff like that. Really, I know you can kind of do well with it, but I just can't. It's not my playstyle at all. And all parachute auto deploy off. Just have that shit off. Honestly, it's useless. There's not really many more settings to run on really. I'm just gonna quick on my down here quick. So I also, if you're on console, use these colorblind settings. These I can't pronounce that word, but on both. This is like it helps out a lot in my opinion. And like the reason I actually use this for the minimap, it shows a bit more red on the dots, so you can see the dots on the minimap way more. Because usually they're quite dull, but this really helps out. Anyway, that's really it for the video. There's not much to really go on. There's very few stats to like controller settings to really go on, to be honest, as you can see. Anyways, I hope you guys did enjoy today's video. Leave a like, leave a comment, and if any other like questions you want me to make a video on, I'll do it. Anything else like my settings, my graphical settings and stuff like that, really, I'll do a video if you want me to. Audio's boost high, but I can go more in-depth video if you guys want me to. Thanks for watching. In a bit.